Normally, this land is lush and green, supporting a vast ecosystem of giant dinosaurs. But this is also a land plagued by devastating seasonal drought. And this season, things are worse than usual. This drought is pushing every animal left in the region to the breaking point. Stegosaurs are usually highly sociable, migratory animals. But this old female couldn't keep pace with the rest of her herd, and has been left behind. She has stationed herself near the only source of water that remains, and already the heat and lack of food are starting to get to her. There is little she can do now except wait, either for the rain to arrive, or to finally succumb to the hellish climate. As days turn to weeks, the stegosaur maintains her vigil. For such a large animal, keeping well fed is of vital importance, and while some hardy vegetation does remain, her teeth are not suited to process this coarse fare. Another day finds the stegosaur still by the remnants of the waterhole. However, for the first time since the drought began, she is not alone. Gargoyleosaurus is the first of the great lineage of ankylosaurs. Under normal circumstances, these two armored giants would give each other a wide berth. But, for the time being, this young male is content to share the water with the old stegosaur. Sometime later, a third dinosaur has joined this motley crew by the watering hole. This time, a small carnivore. While his presence does agitate the two herbivores, Ornitholestes is far too small to pose any real danger. Even in her weakened state, a swipe of the stegosaur's thagomizer could easily end his life, and a lifetime of experience has taught him to avoid Gargoyleosaurus whenever possible. However, this much activity concentrated in one area attracts attention, and around here, there is one animal you should never do anything to draw the attention of. The Gargoyleosaur's misfortune proves an unexpected boon for the Ornitholestes. For a moment. The stegosaur's strength has finally failed. The heat, lack of food, and isolation have finally taken down this great titan. As her strength fades, the allosaur watches hungrily. Even in her broken state, a proper attack still poses significant risk. At last she succumbs. After all this time, all this suffering, she's given in to the cruelty of nature, Now, her story ends as nothing more than a feast for a trio of starving opportunists. A week later, the waterhole has run dry, and the allosaurs have finished the remains of the two armored herbivores. Now, they are beginning to grow desperate. Eventually, their delirium leads them to exploit the only remaining source of meat in the area. Of the residents of the waterhole, only one remains. His small size and generalized diet meant that the Ornitholestes was able to cling on even as the larger creatures perished around him. Despite all the hardship, he has beaten the odds. However, even now, there is potential for his life to get much, much worse. The first of the seasonal migrants has returned to the valley.